Hi everybody, this is Suzanne Hiron, your Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. Today we're going to be making this pretty spring-like card with the Timeless Tulip stamp set. It's just a gorgeous stamp set. I love it. Makes me think of the Tulip Festival here in Ottawa. So let's get started. First we'll have a base of Pear Pizzazz. That's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So just fold it and burnish it nicely to have a nice crisp fold and set that aside. Next we have a piece of Highland Heather that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. That is run through the Scripty embossing folder. I like to put the name of my embossing folder on it so I know what I'm looking at when I need my embossing folders. So I'll spare you the run into the embossing machine, and this is the result. So that is our second layer, which we can just glue on to the base. I really like working with the glue these days. I find it's more forgiving, inexpensive, and very strong. So if there's any little bit missing, I just add a touch right here and we're done. And if you ever go over, check out my little tip on the glue eraser. So I'll put this aside now. Let's do some stamping. So this third piece on the card measures 4 1/4 by 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is start with my sentiment on the top here in Gorgeous Grape and line it up. I like to start with the sentiment and make sure I'm happy that it's straight before I go ahead and do everything else, because there's a lot of work in this card, lots of stamping. So if I don't like it from the start, I'll just turn it over and start over again. So now we're going to do the background of tulips. I don't know if you noticed, but behind these tulips that are on dimensionals here, there's a background of smaller tulips. So I've used the Highland Heather that is a little bit lighter than the Gorgeous Grape, and just stamped 3 tulips in the background here, and this little bud right here in the middle. Maybe I'll do another one. It might be hidden, but I like to have it there so that it peeks through when I do the tulips on dimensionals. And now I'm going to do the stems. Do this one here. This one, maybe I need to mask this one, which is a technique that I don't use very often that is very helpful. So I just cut it a little bit. I position over the image so that when I stamp right here, it'll just show the tulip first and not the stem. And I'm going to change the direction a little bit, because that's what we can do with these nice polymer stamps, is change the direction of the stem. All right, so I'm done with the stems. I do like to decorate my envelopes as well, so I just did a stem on an envelope with another little tulip, and I want to decorate the inside of my card as well, just in the corner, just so we have a little bit of visual interest on the inside as well. And I think I'll use the bigger tulip and stamp off the side a little bit. There we go. And on the inside, there's a sentiment in this stamp set that says, "What a beautiful difference one single life makes." What a nice thought. So I'll do that one for the inside of my card. All right, so I'll set that aside. And now we'll stamp the tulips that we're going to punch out. So for this one, I used the Gorgeous Grape. And these stamps are distinctive. So you can see when you stamp, there's different nuances of the color that come out. So I'll just do 3 of these. And I am going to add a little bit of interest with this beautiful Wink of Stella shimmer pen. So I just highlight the bottom of the tulip, some of the petals here. You can put as much or as little as you like. So now here's the tip with this tulip punch. This is a new punch in the January to June mini catalog. So when you're punching your tulips, you want to insert the left side into your punch first, because as you can see, there's a leaf image here that will be cut out at the same time. So you don't want to waste your beautiful tulip. You insert it first through the left side, punch it out, move to the next one, do the same thing. So as you can see, the leaf doesn't catch any of the paper because you've already punched it out. And number 3, here we go. All done. So those are nice. Now we're going to stamp a few leaves on here, on the base. I like to stamp them close to the stem. And now we're going to stamp a few that we're going to punch out. So let me just look at my punch here. See, the fat part is on the bottom. And just as we did for the tulip on the left side, we're going to do the leaf on the right side so it doesn't punch out any paper for nothing. So here's my leaf, and move it slightly right, and we do the other leaf. So when the tulip punches the paper, there's nothing left to punch. So we have all our pieces. Now let's put all this together. Start with the inside of the card. Once you've lined up your top corners, the rest will follow. Now we need some dimensionals. And I love the Take Your Pick tool to do this. So we're going to apply some dimensionals to the top layer. But before I set it down, I want some pretty little ribbon. So this time I used the polka dot ribbon in Whisper White. So I'll use a piece of this. And I like to glue it on the back because I'm not good at doing bows, so I use my trusty bow maker to do that. And I'll just fake it. There we go. Of course, when I'm on camera, it doesn't go as easily as when I'm not. Come on. There we go. Okay, kind of center it here. Here's my bow maker. Now, if you're in the Ottawa area and you want to buy one of these bow makers that my son makes, just let me know, send me an email or comment on the video, and I'll be glad to sell you one for $10. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Perfect bow every time. I love it. Move this away. Now I used a dimensional, but you can also use a glue dot to put down your bow. All right, so now we're ready to glue on our beautiful tulips. So I've kind of lined them up with the stems that we can still see through. Here's two. And because the frame is a little wider, you can have your tulip go over the layer here. So I'm going to put one that's going to go over the layer, see, into the Highland Heather cardstock. There you have it, and these little leaves to finish it off. They just need one dimension, also enough. So I have one over here, and the other one. What do you think? Over here? This way. Yeah. Here you go. All done. Thanks for watching.